Shalom, Yasharala. It's your brother Dawa from GMS Tampa Bay '07, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rucha, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions. All right, I want to jump into this here quick article that's actually touching on two different things here. This talking about basically the mark of the beast system being implemented. All right, and Esau, right now we in if you like a so-called American-minded person, you see it, and you so-called in tune with what's going on. You see a divide between two different powers. You see one, America and their side, and then basically like Russia and them and their side. All right, so you will see a divide like that, but really there's no divide in all of this. All right, there's just one plan and one agenda. That's two of them, which is all still one. The Most High's plan and agenda, but in a carnal sense, you got Esau's plan and agenda. All right, and his plan and his agenda is to set up his new world order, the RFID microchip. All right, so you can't look at the East and the West versus East versus West in this scenario like, oh, okay, well, Russia and them is implementing the mark of the beast and so on and so forth, blah blah blah. They're in a different system than over here. In all actuality, it's the Most High's plan. It's all working together for one. All right. And Esau, behind closed doors, these people all sit at the same tables and wine and dine with each other. They all friends. This is like WWF, They when they are out on the political stages and stuff like that, they in the wrestling ring, all right? Stone Cold gonna be cussing out Vince McMahon and giving them Stone Cold stunners and spraying them with beer and shit like that, They selling a entertainment show. All right, you the crowd, you cheering for this person, that person, and booing that person. All right, that's what's going on. But behind closed doors, when they get in the locker room, all right, they all buddy and friends. They all get on the same airplane and fly to the next little venue in the next little state. And Stone Cold and The Rock sitting side by side on the airplane. And then that very night they getting in the ring, cussing each other out and having a wrestling match. Stone Cold Steve Austin is stomping a mud hole in The Rock, and The Rock is laying a smackdown on that jabroni. You see, but they getting back up. And then they go on to the next venue on the same plane, sitting next to each other to repeat the same act. That's what you watching with these politicians, but they all have the same plan and the same show to entertain the people. So there's really no difference when it's coming to things like that. All right, but also in another sense, like in the wrestling world, all right, you have the so-called wrestling dialogue that the fans are supposed to follow after and watch after. All right, so in that sense of the story, you also see how one side, the so-called Eastern side is like Russia and them, are banding together, all right? And Russia's being a guardian to them. We're going to grab that in the scriptures as well, all right? But it says, the BRICS gearing up for digital revolution, all right? And if you don't know what the BRICS is, BRICS are, let me see, it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America, all right? No, not South America, South Africa. So it says right here, it says, the five nation bloc of emerging economies, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, BRICS, also known as BRICS, has decided to work closer together to embrace the rapidly developing technology that has carved a fourth industrial revolution. All right. And really they in a carnal sense on a low level, again, what they want you to understand in WWF as, the dialogue between The Rock and Stone Cold or whatever is going on, the soap opera that's going on is that there's a race for global dominance. Who's going to reign in the next age? All right. Is it going to be the Western world and America going to continue on their hegemony, or is it going to be over on the Eastern side of the globe? All right. With Russia and China and them, And under that American hegemony, what have they been dominating with? They've been dominating with the petrodollar, the IMF, all right, with the central banking that America has set up, all right. But it says, and this is the way of which the other side is trying to combat what America with, all right. They're trying to get away from that petrodollar and that petro system to take down America's hegemony and take down America's hedge, their protection, all right, and basically trying to stop America from dominating all the other countries, all right? It says the five nation bloc of emerging economies, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has decided to work closer together to embrace rapidly developing technology that has carved a fourth industrial revolution. Dubbed the digital age or revolution 4.0, It is considered the fourth major technological era since the 18th century. It encompasses digital technology as well as nanotechnology, biotechnology, robotics, artificial intelligence, and others. All right. And I like to stress this point every time I speak about the mark of the beast. All right. It's not just well, the mark of the beast is just that damn RFID chip. Okay. That's actually just the mark of the beast. All right. But when you're thinking about that mark of the beast, you have to have the whole system implanted. All right. The whole system in place. So for a real life example, all right, the majority of you Americans already had a mark of the beast. All right. You just pull out your wallet. You know what I'm saying? And look at your debit card and all that, right? It's right there on your damn debit card, all right? And a lot of the states now, because they're trying to require every state to do it. I know here in Florida, they have it as well. You know, like, because I got one, the Real ID Act, all right? One of these basically the same ass shit as the RFI, the mark of the beast. It's just that we don't have it implanted into us, all right? This system is, you know, being brought up around us, all right? You also have it in your cell phone. Most of these new cars have it, all right? But once they implement it inside of you, all right, that's when, you know, and once they get the system and going, you know, everything that it needs to function properly, once they get this whole thing going, that's, you know what I'm saying? Well, first of all, if you get the chip, you done got the mark of the beast, all right? But nevertheless, in their minds and their whole thing, they need this whole system to be going all together, everything to be, how do they say, working together or you know, basically working together, you know, conspiring together with one another. All right. So like it says, it encompasses digital technology. All right. So digital technology is like what? That, you know, 5G, technology. All right. To move all this stuff through a network super fast, as well as nanotechnology. What is that? All right. That's that RFID chip. All right. Nano size, really, really small, that little small chip. Biotechnology. What is that? All right. Bio meaning of life. All right. That's incorporating you with the damn machines, basically. You know what I'm saying? I just did a video on an article yesterday talking about by 2050, America or humans gonna be attending their own funerals as cyborgs, and how, you know, they trying to make humans with damn robots. All right, and artificial intelligence. Yeah, look at D-Wave computers. All right, and others. All right, the Internet of Things and things like that. All right, all these things are a system in the web that go on, and they didn't mention on here, cryptocurrencies, which this whole article is about. But nevertheless, you know, all these different things are parts of the system that Esau is trying to implement this whole total system. All right. It's not just, you know, when you talk about this RFID chip, it's not just the chip itself. It's this whole system. All right. But again, I want to stress the point that, you know, if you got 5G internet, don't mean you got the damn mark of the beast. When you get that damn microchip implanted in your body, that's when you got the mark of the beast chip. But as far as what is his whole system that he's got going on for his new world order system, man, it's a lot of things that come together to make this one big system. But they all basically revolve around him having that chip. All right. It says the digital revolution is the next threshold for the BRICS countries, according to South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. All right. And so, you know, how Esau likes to do things, you know, he give you that, I can't think of what the hell he called his witchcraft right now. I don't know if it might not be the Hegelian dialectics, but he got some shit, right? I forgot what he called his witchcraft. But so in America, right, you know, most Americans fall prey to this. Every damn American fall prey to this, all right? They always give you like two different options, right? They give you a left wing and a right wing. Coke, Pepsi, McDonald's, Burger King, Walmart, Kmart. They always give you those two options like that. You know, Republican, Democrat, you know, you conservative or liberal. You always got these two different sides, right? You know, and a lot of times in politics, they call it left wing and right wing, right? They get the people distracted with that shit, but they never let you understand that, you know, if there's a left wing and a right wing, there's a bird in between them wings. You see what I'm saying? They're part of the same ass bird, all right? But they got you stuck thinking that there's a division and divide, but really, they're controlling you, all right? They're controlling you with the mindset, you know? They can get you to fall into one or two groups, and then they control both groups, all right? So the same thing is going on here with the so-called struggle between the East and the West, as far as who's going to have the next reign as the global leaders, all right? Whether it be China and Russia or America, all right? That's the left wing versus the right wing, all right? But you don't understand, it's the same ass bird. It's these Illuminatis, these high up elites, all right, these Rothschilds, these at the end of the day they call Edomites according to the Bible, all right. It says this surge in innovation has the potential to dramatically improve productivity, to place entire countries on new trajectories. I can never pronounce that word, of prosperity. All right. And, this is advertisement and business 101. They always trying to, take your weaknesses and your the things that you have low self-esteem about and magnify that in front of you and try to offer a solution. Man, you got tired of being impoverished and poor and not having up-to-date technology and so on and so forth. Man, we could boost your whole economy up with this new shit, So they're trying to sell it to you. It has the potential to solve many social problems we face, he said during the BRICS summit in Johannesburg. Ramaphosa commented that comments were echoed by the Indian's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who said technological innovations could help to enhance better service deliveries and productivity levels. Again, they just trying to advertise, to make it sound good in these places, But overall, we know that this is, according to the scriptures, talking about the RFID chip, all right? Well, this is one of the applications of the RFID chip, all right? Like I said, when you're talking about that deal, it's got a lot of different things that encompass just the whole thing. It's, it's a lot more than just a actual microchip, This here is talking about, basically, more or less the connectivity with all of this here. It says where was I at? India wants to work collectively along with the BRICS nations in the area of the fourth industrial revolution, and all nations must share the best practices and policies on this, Modi said. According to the Brazilian president Michael Temer, BRICS countries can only be competitive if they are open. And I mean open to more sophisticated inputs, advanced technology, bolder ideas, and to open more investments in trade, he explained. Like I said, they just trying to open up more ways for better connectivity with one another, And also, basically how America has dominance over the whole damn planet Earth through NATO and the EU, and they treaties and stuff with each other. This is what the so-called East is trying to do at this moment, But that's just, again, in the eyes of low-level man. These Edomites have a bigger plan, Again, they're giving you that left wing and that right wing type of shit so they can consolidate and control you. You see what I'm saying? Giving you that false illusion of a choice, right? That ain't really no choice. They didn't gave you this or gave you that. That's not a real choice. It says major banks from the BRICS countries have agreed to work together to study how innovative technologies such as cryptocurrencies and blockchains could be applied in the infrastructure finance sector. Last year, central banks of Russia proposed to create a joint digital currency with the BRIC countries and the Eurasian Economic Union. It could replace the US dollar and other currencies used in the settlements among the member states, the central bank of Russia said, basically. All right. And so, again, like I'm saying, with this West Coast, this East versus West, versus America versus America and its allies versus Russia and China, on global dominance. All right. They trying to get away from this petrodollar, in which America uses one of his things it uses to dominate these other countries. All right. And you got to go into what a petrodollar is. All right. And to tell you what it is, you just look in your wallet. Any of your currency bills is a petrodollar. All right. But for you to actually understand what and why it's all important, you have to look into that as far as, and understand how they dominate all these other countries with it. All right. So, I actually wanted to get two different scriptures. Now, they don't actually have hang on, grab a scripture on this. I wanted to grab this in Ezekiel 38. Now, this is actually talking about, this is actually talking about all of this that we're talking about right now, because not necessarily before you get to a hot war, you got Cold War, you got all kind of wars, and all these things lead up to a hot war, information wars, currency wars, trade wars, propaganda. All these things are different stages of war. All right. So this is going into, World War III, basically, and through trade wars and financial woes and stuff like that. Hey, and all this other shit that's going on that with the men of the Lord are all called propaganda, because hey, these Edomites already got the plan planned out of what they're gonna do, when they're gonna do it. All right, and really it's all in line with the Most High. The Most High is the one that's controlling the minds of these here kings here. All right, but going to the scriptures, Ezekiel 38. And verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, saying, or against him. All right, and that's talking about Russia. All right, it says, and thus saith Yahweh power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaw, and I will bring thee forth and all thy army, horses, horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling the swords. All right. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, all of them with the shield and the helmet. Gomer and all of his bands in the houses of Tomargraph and the north quarters, and all his bands and many people with him. Be thou prepared to prepare thyself, and thou and all thy company that are assembled with thee, and be thou a guard unto them. All right. So I read all the way through because, like I said, this is pretty much talking about when that war is about to pop off. But before that happens, you got to have these negotiations and these agreements and these pacts being formed by these different nations. All right. And that's what you see what's going on right now through different policies and different things that's going on. You see these how do I say, these different pacts, super countries, or just super pacts being formed with these different nations. All right. Where, how they had, what was it, the TPPA or OPEC, just different shit like that, right? In this scenario, we're talking about the BRICS, all right? And that's a conglomeration of nations, all right? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, all right? And that's a conglomeration of nations. They coming together, all right? And who is the stronghold, in that? All right. Overall, China is a pretty strong nation in its own, but really it's Russia, because that's what we're reading right now. That's who the Most High set up. All right. To be the guard unto all these other nations, to be the forefront, the head of the army that's going up against the Edomites on this side. All right. Babylon the Great. All right. So, Russia is really that guard unto them, to all these different people, all right? And he's starting out, first and foremost, like you see with the argument with Russia or America and Turkey is the battle between whether or not Turkey get the F-35 or the S-400, all right? That's what the big battle is, whether or not, if you can understand that, you can understand this. Russia being the guard unto them against who? The Babylonians on this side, and the great whore and the beast that she's riding on, NATO and the EU, all right? But nevertheless, this is how it's starting up. NATO and the EU, right? The whore and the beast, right? They didn't just come together one day. America was funding them, like Donald Trump in the news right now, talking about, listen, Germany and all y'all other bitches, y'all need to be putting up at least 2.something% of y'all GDP. Y'all need to up the game. Y'all got to come up better with some money together, because we all got to put in on this. All right. And now you see the other side doing the same thing, but they doing this with their cryptocurrency to get up off of basically that American titty. All right. Everybody's tired of being on that American titty with that petrodollar. All right. They all got to suck that titty to get their nourishment with that petrodollar. All right. And they tired of that. So they trying to create their own titty, the BRICS nations. All right. To give something to these other nations to be able to buy and sell and trade their oil on. All right. Give them some kind of life, some kind of nourishment. So they ain't got to be, drinking from this poisonous, defiled ass titty. All right. All metaphorically speaking, but nevertheless, it said, talking about Russia. All right. And named all these different people that they was going to come together. But it says, I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaw. All right. So, going back to World War II, when they had, what did they have that shit called? The USSR. All right. When we had like the USSR was Russia would abandon nations. All right. Then the USSR failed, and that's why you have, Russia and the other nations, but you have like, I believe now they calling it like the Russian Federation or whatever, whatnot, but, you have that same thing coming back. This is what the whole debacle about the Crimean Peninsula or Crimea, or the Crimean Peninsula and the Ukraine debacle was all about, Russia, and they saying Russia annexing, but really them people voted, But that's what's going on. Russia is those hooks being put back in Russia's jaw. All right, because like I said, after World War II, that was the fall of the USSR. All right, then it just became I believe it just became just Russia. I think it was just called like the state of Russia or some shit like that. But then over the years now you're starting to see Russia is growing back big again. It's getting all these other nations that it was once tied with, and they becoming one big nation. Pertaining to the nations that border what used to be just little old Russia. All right, but nowadays you're starting to see Russia is also being a garden to these other nations that's not necessarily bordering after the USSR broke up. Not those nations, but also other nations. Like I'm saying, the S-400 trying to be sold to Turkey. All right. Persia, like it was said here, which is Iran. All right. And all these other countries, Syria. You see what I'm saying? It's being a garden to them. All right. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, all of them. In Libya, they had the debacle over their currency over there as well, too. And then they really had the debacle over the spring water, the natural spring water. But you see them setting up these pipelines to deliver resources throughout those areas, like the natural spring water they're trying to get up through Syria from Libya, and then also or the water pipeline in Libya, and then the gas pipeline they're trying to run through Syria. All right, that they're trying to get for whether or not who gonna supply oil to the American allies in Europe, that part of Europe. All right, whether it's gonna be Russia or whether it's gonna basically come from one of America's proxies. All right. But nevertheless, speaking about Russia being a guard unto them all right, with the BRICS nations. And when you look into the BRICS nations, they wanted to, they really the head of all of that, really, because what they have the most and the biggest resources. All right. China got like a lot of resources, but when it comes to military technology, man, hey, hands down, Russia got them to blow them out the water. All right. They the ones being a guard unto them. They the ones selling everybody these. China ain't selling nobody no goddamn missile defense systems. All right. That's Russia that's selling out the S-300, S-400, the S-100, 125, 200s, 300s, the 400s, and 500 Prometheus. Well, they developing the 500 Prometheus. All right. It's Russia the one that's selling all this shit, not China. All right. Russia the one being a garden to these people. All right. And they also one of the forefronts and the heads of this BRICS nations. All right. Let me grab one more precept real quick. Because we were speaking about that digital currency and that blockchain. All right. And we all know what that is talking about. This is Revelation. I'm gonna just basically, because like I said, we know. Well, I'll read it like this. All right. Revelation 13:16, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should speak, and causes as many as which would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. And mainly that's talking about America and being a great whore riding upon the beast and the way that they got shit going. If you don't want to worship America and they image and the shit that they got going on, you're going to be put to death. But overall, who running America and shit like that, when you get biblical with it, it's these Edomites. And these Edomites had this plan to bring this new world order to microchip the whole fucking planet Earth and give everybody a microchip. All right. And get everybody in this new system. So like I said, with that left wing and the right wing, you don't realize you're on the same bird being controlled by the same mind of the same bird. All right. He the one controlling them wings. So that's really what you have when you look at this Russia versus America type of deal. All right. So, Esau, in the spirit of Esau, want to microchip the whole damn earth. So he gonna have it, on his left wing and on the right wing. So it's also popping off in Russia like that. All right. So just to clear that up, as far as, some people might just think that the Edomites, when we speak about Edomites, they are these Americans, not Edomites. Edom go everywhere, but this is just the chief house of Satan right over in here. All right. In America, Babylon the Great. All right. But nevertheless, these other Edomites in Russia, they doing the same ass thing, and really the whole spirit of Esau is causing the whole planet. All right, as we reading right here. All right, and it says verse 16, Revelation 13:16. He calls it all, okay, everybody on the planet Earth, not just the people up under the so-called Western rulership and the Western mentality under these Edomites on the Western side, but also on the Eastern side as well. He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, that's that RFID chip that we speak about. All right, and this is the system. Verse 17 here is talking about the system that you're gonna be put into. All right, and that's what we was reading about, that article about the BRICS nations and how they trying to get up off of that petrodollar, and really they trying to get up off of the old system, the old world order, and move into the new world order, because through all of this is going to be a debacle. The economy is going to collapse, so on and so forth, and America is going to try to come up out of the ashes with a cryptocurrency. All right, and that's going to be that RFID chip that we're reading about right here. All right, but continuing on, verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. So you ain't going to be able to buy or sell. You ain't going to be able to move. You ain't going to be able to make transactions. You're not going to be able to sign in and log into this here system. All right. And this whole system is a new digital system. All right. Like we was reading about back in that let me just read this one more part and close out. Like I always like to stress and reiterate when talking about this RFID chip. All right. When you read about, look, he going to cause you to get this chip in your right hand or your forehead. You know what I'm saying? That's talking about the RFID chip itself, the chip. But then you also have the system it goes along with. All right. Let me find this in this article where it says, where was it? Give me 1 second. Right here. It says, dubbed the digital age or revolution 4.0, it's considered the fourth major technological era since the 18th century. All right, that's talking about this new world order that we coming into. All right, and a part of that new world order is going to be that RFID chip, the mark of the beast chip. All right, that's just a part of this whole system. All right, and it says it encompasses digital technology. All right, as well as nanotechnology, biotechnology, robotics, artificial intelligence, and others. All right, and so that's that system that where it says that no man shall be able to buy or sell save he that have that mark. All right, so it's not just talking about that RFID chip by itself. You know, it's going to be all these things come to play. All right, and that's that new world order system that this so-called white man, the Edomites, have in their mind to set forth. All right, but you know, according to the scriptures, let me see if I can find that real quick. I'm gonna close out with this one if I can find it real quick. I think it's Job 20 and right here. All right, this is I'll just get straight to the point. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 22. It says, oh shit. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Okay, so when he about to get this whole system, like again, you got the left wing and right wing of the bird. Don't worry about that. Look at the whole damn bird. All right, that's when he's talking about he got his whole system in place. When he got the whole world ready to take this RFID chip, all right, under this new system, as he's destroyed and collapsed the system that's already in place. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All right, and that's like what you read about in the book of Revelation, I believe, chapter 17, talking about the whore and the beast, and then the beast gonna burn her with fire. All right, it says, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and he shall rain it upon him while he is eaten. All right, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow shall strike him through. So we know that these ICBM missiles gonna come down when he's about to fill his belly, or when he's about to basically turn the on switch onto his new world order system. All right, when he got everything in place, basically. All right, when he's about to fill his belly, when he almost got everything already lined up and everything ready to go. All right, everybody with RFID chips, everybody in this cryptocurrency, you know what I'm saying? These smart cities and 5G and all that extra shit popping off. When you got all this shit ready to go and turn the switch on, that's when the Most High said what? He says, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast fury of his wrath upon him. He shall rain it upon him while he is eating. All right, while he getting it in, that's when it's gonna rain down on him. And what's gonna rain down on him? It says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn, it cometh out of the body, yea, the glitter and sword cometh out of the gall. Terrors are upon him. All right, it's talking about those ICBM missiles when they come up out them silos, man. When the missiles come down, hey man, terror gonna be upon him. All right. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught me this here truth and that ruled well. And salutation and much love for you, I can push in this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions. Stay strong. Shalom.